This is going to be an overview of the latest FBX animation pipeline, motion capture integration with retargeting, character effects, and just a bunch of other features that I've been developing for Qubit MCP, my open source project. I've been playing around with it and just keep adding a lot of features. So this is going to be a video going, roughly around all the different things that I've been adding. As you can see here, I've already created a scene, and this is just a quick view of one of the latest renders that I made. This is the scene node here, and here you can see the outliner has a lot of different nodes that I've plugged in. These are the lights. I've got two cameras in the scene. So this one, this got a different angle, more like a close-up. This one was far away, and if I just navigate, you can see the camera here, and it just defaults to the default camera once I'm out. I can always lock it in. So now the camera is being locked, and I can key it wherever I want. There, then I can remove the keys. So yeah, this is more like the timeline editor. So the camera goes back. But so this one has lights. I've also added just a lot of different effects, such as music syncing. So some of the speakers that are on the wall are reacting to the music. And let's see, let's start with, just take a look at the animation timeline, since I've added different ways to manually animate each listing on the outliner. And also I can, for example, this is more like a sequence, and I can offset it. So as you can see there, when I move that sequence, it gets offsetted. That way you can have different sequences in one scene. If I go into it, because this is an animation, I can now select the skeleton, and I have the names on, so I can turn them off. These are the names of the bones, and I can further animate this. So it's still looking at the animation there, that node. So if I select the skeleton and I click on one of these, now I can see that that skeleton shows up here at the bottom. It gives me the name, so that's the left upper leg, and I can manipulate that and add extra frames. Right now it won't update right away, so I gotta fix that. But if I key it and play back, it will remember. Walk back from that and step away from the scene and just go one component at a time. That way we can kind of track down how I built this scene. First thing, it's gonna be the regular FBX node. So, in this case, I had a character that I brought from Houdini, and it already had a rig in it, but it was pretty heavy, and I just wanted to use that just to like give it a lot of geo to handle. Just had this character handy. So this node has the capture pose, animation pose, in case you want to give it different animations. Let's turn off that wireframe off, and this character, it's already rigged, and those are the skin weights that you can see there. So here on the left we have the different display options. In this case I had the skin on. I can toggle that off and just show textures, but in this case this model doesn't have textures, so it's just coming in grayscale. Okay, so I loaded it with the skin weight colored off, and so yeah, it's just coming like that. Now we can do a show capture joints. That's going to show me the bones that were used to capture the T-pose, where maybe the animation is at a different pose. So now it loaded the bind pose rig, and we can display the names of the joints in the settings tab there. can see all the different names for the bones. And then now for the animation, just toggle that on. Okay, and there it is. Now that one is showing the animation joints. I can show this with the mesh or the mesh off. Essentially, yeah, just lets me load each of these different inputs, the mesh, the pose, the animation pose. Now let's take a look at another example, quick. Let's go down here. I've got another model so we can take a look that it has textures in. So let's pause that. Okay, and this one came in with textures. Let's turn off the wireframe and see, there's also that grid there. Let's change, these are other settings for lighting, so let's put the working light so we can see the shading. We got another setting here for unlit mode if we want to take a look at the textures a little better. There's another feature here that I've been working on where I can select elements of the mesh and just zoom into them specifically. We got phases. So if we turn on our wireframe, we can select the mesh, edges. This is part of the modeling tools. Okay, and there's the post rig with all the names. This one, I think this is a metahuman rig, so it's got the face bones there, and then the animated joints. Okay, and there it is, the animated mesh. As you can see, the arms were posed close, and now they're showing the arms open. Okay, and there's the shader mode. Okay, now let's move on to another part of the system here. I have a BVH, so I have BVH format integration, and this is a motion capture that I've got. Let's see, let's turn off those joints. Okay. Oh, this, and sorry, this gizmo here. Oh, okay. Zoom out. Okay, so yeah, this is a BVH file that I put right there, and now I wanted to transfer that animation over. So I have this animation retargeting node. So let's have a look at that. I first scaled the skeleton from the FBX because it was it's not matching as well. So just scaled it a little bit there by 1.25, and then now we have both loaded here. I already retargeted them, so this info card here has the different mappings for both skeletons, and this is the source, that's the target, so that's the FBX, and I've already matched them, and then I also offsetted the arm to match so that they're both on T shape. And see, this is just some settings for the curves thickness and things like that. It's not very important. And then there's the animate target skeleton. This will allow us to preview the settings, the animation once it's retargeted. So if I play this, you can see the results of the retargeting. Scroll through this, and let's try to use mapping row. Okay, so those are constraints. Yeah, this is our constraint for the hip joint. So the hip is constrained. So yeah, there's something about it being offsetted. So it's just a constraint. I have different types of constraints. And let's see if I can remove one of these constraints. So to link it, it's left click. If I want to unpin it, I left click and then right click the other one. So like that. And then they get unlinked. Go. So yeah, that way, yeah, we have all those pinned. We want them. Left click, right click. We can go and click another one. Here we go. And constraints. This is target pose. I think this is where I can move my pose. So in this case, once I do that, it's starting to recache the animation. Okay, so this number here on the left, it tells you the new value. This one has value of 24 there. Let's move on. So after this, we got the animation transferred. Now, what I did here, I converted the mesh into a skinned volume mesh. This can be used for simulation. So it's I converted it to a volume. That way we can use this for collisions. In case we want to do a simulation and have the hair collide with the body. By the way, these are some of the nodes that I added so far. So these ones are some of the splats, which is called skin Splat Proxy. And I can generate different densities for that. In this case, I just turned it into this level of density. So essentially just made it all pretty light because the original mesh was pretty heavy. So this transferred all the skin weights over to the splats. So we got the colored skin weights. And then after that, I did based on the thickness, I give it some different colors. Based on thickness, I could do different settings here for that. And then after that, I give it a audio file. This is a FX node. It's gonna change the brightness of the splats based on the music. And then this one, I haven't played a lot with it, but essentially it's a way to just add physics to the splats. Oh, we can view it here. See. Actually, because yeah, this one doesn't have a view button, but I have different presets of the different kinds of effects that I want. Let's just add a scene node so that we can view this in the scene. And maybe we can change some of the settings there to get a little bit of a different look. In this case, it changes the color based on the physics. And I think I just have like a scroll noise. So the splats are gonna change color based on the physics. And yeah, they get sort of brighter and darker. You could really tell. So this splats leaves a trail behind. That's the trail settings here. And it's almost like a secondary effect. Let's toggle this and put it on something else. So we have default. Let's try wispy trails. Noise type, none. That will change the dynamic of the physics. But yeah, all these settings here, I sort of try to get something that wouldn't deform the mesh too much. So they're barely moving, but you know, they're slightly moving. If we go here, yeah, this is, as you can see, a little bit of warping, but it's still not very strong. This all depends on the scale of the model, but yeah, it's almost like it's got a bit of a lag behind. Wispy, velocity, cool noise, comet, spark large. Let's see that one. So this G size setting changes the effects of the scale setting changes the effect of those physics on the splats. But yeah, essentially it's a particle simulation system, which I just haven't played a lot with. So this one, yeah, deforms it less. Yeah, it gives a bit of a color pattern, which we're looking at the scene here. Let's see if we can change this this leg here. So we will need to delete. Let's delete all this frames. So from here out, let's change this. So remove those keys. So now there's one key there, and we can go ahead and skip a little forward and change our key. See, okay, so here, let's move the leg out. Okay, this is backwards. Okay, let's just move it somewhere there and key it. Now we go back. Okay, now it updated. So yeah, this is okay. I need to make it more real time, but essentially, yeah, now if we go over that, it's gonna jump back to the motion capture. So yeah, that would be a weird frame there unless we remove all these ones. Okay, that's the work in progress. Also, these splats don't really help to do that. We can enable and disable all these settings here. Okay, so I turn off all these effects. That way it's not so heavy. Let's see the playback. So the foot goes up a bit. And yeah, we got our animation. I just added a light here. So I added this. Let's add a light. These are already the presets. Okay, so we plugged it in. Let's take a look. Okay, and where's the light? Okay, it's right there. It's very small, but we can bring it out. Oh. Which way is it pointing? Oh, it's that way. Yeah, this one. I've used the aria light, or change it to a directional light. Okay, that one is a bit better. There we go. We've got a aria light. Again, I think the intensity is just not high enough. All these settings gotta be adjusted. And let's bring a primitive cube. Let's do a plane. Okay, we got the plane in. Let's scale it up. I think let's give it 100. Actually, that's not enough. Let's make it 500. And okay, I see. So we have the working light, and that's why these lights weren't working earlier. So let's try again with the point light. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's real time. Okay, area light. This one is pretty interesting because I can change the different settings. Let's just change the range to that. Okay, there we go. So the intensity is pretty high. And because this is an area light, it's gonna, behind it is showing another light. Shadow strength. The strength will change. Okay. Shadow. Okay. So yeah, those are the lights. The spotlight. Let's take a look again. Okay, that one, yeah, just shoots spotlight like that. And some of these I can change the type, the way the shadows look. It can be more pixelated or sharper. Let's take a look at this motion capture system for video to animation. This is based on a open source project. So here's some of the different examples that they have. I took it from here and created an interface for this. It uses this as well. This looks like it's from OpenAI. This one is NVIDIA Labs, I think. And yeah, I took that, brought it into my project. I have this, this section here from motion capture, and I have a patch for it so that it leaves everything as is, but I can add my own sort of UI that plugs right in without touching any of the original code. It's just like right there. Let me see if there's a patch. Yeah, so I got a patch right here, and this is the UI system. Let's just use the Qt UI. So let's open that up. Okay, there it is. I give it a video. Let's give it a video from, yeah, let's follow this path. So here, and then an output. Let's give it a folder and just run it. Now this is going to create a skeleton for the animation that defines in the video. We can use that BVH file, and it gives you also an overlay of the animation with the rig on top. It's going to take a little bit to process, but yeah, there's a log that we can follow here. These frames are being processed now, and we're seeing the progress. And it's let's see, I think it's, yeah, it's extracting, it's cleaning up the data, extracting the videos. Let's leave that, I think we can leave that in the corner or something. This one was one of the videos that are processed. Came out here. Let's see. Okay, no, that's the one that we're processing right now. Yeah, this is the one from the video that I just showed. So it's fairly usable for, you know, clean up and things. So let's go back. This is still going. What is it doing now? So it's almost done that process, and using cache found. Yeah, it's doing a lot of different processes, so let's let it finish. Okay, this is actually still going here. It's still processing. So I think it was just prepping things, and now started doing another process. Take a look at our results here. So we got our file. Let's go to our output folder and let's bring in a BVH or Mocap import. Let's view it. See how it turned out. There we go. Let's take a look at the modeler node. This modeler node will allow us to separate different parts of the mesh. Since that mesh was pretty heavy before, I took the head and I can hide or unhide different pieces so that we can, split up a model. And this is an FBX model that came from the original FBX that we used for the animation. Okay, so I unhid the eyes, part of the eyes, and so the sclera. And then now we can have a selection. This is drag selection. So we can drag select the vertices, and then we can create groups with that. So let's create a group. Let's see, group selected. So yeah, I added the selection here. This is a point selection. Let's make a curve. We have different kinds of curves, and we can display the points. So the point numbers. Got 2 point number. Spiral has a lot more vertices, and we got different selection modes. So shift, drag, I can keep selecting. I can select them all like that. I can double click. I can control remove, and shift control will invert the selection.